Brock Purdy. I don't know much about his personality. He's barely said anything. But what I do know, Luke, is he threw that pick that you and I talked about at the end of the game, which was across his body. He now has a chance. He had a chance to come from behind to win the last couple of weeks. Both times he's failed. What have you seen? He's been exposed maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I think exposed is a good word, but it's not really surprising. I love Brock Purdy. I've said that on this show many times, but what's happening right now is not what he's good at or what he really has the tools to do. This team is built to play great defense, get a lead. They have a great run game. They have CMC. They're not built to have him slinging the ball around like he's Patrick Mahomes at the end of the game here. I mean, he was drafted in the 7th round for a reason because he doesn't have, maybe the physical tools that most starters in this league does, but what he's good at is computing and being able to process a game. He's great at that. I would say that at this early in his career, but when you're down by such a large margin and you're forced to consistently throw and you take out that they don't have Deebo Samuel, who's probably their most talented receiver, it's just going to be tough sledding for it's going to be tough sledding for anyone, let alone a young quarterback, without your number one guy.
And, the Vikings offense had no trouble. I mean, Kirk Cousins very complimentary about the San Francisco defense, but quarterbacks are always complimentary about the other team's defense. Did Minnesota maybe expose something about that San Francisco defense, or did Minnesota just play well?
Minnesota definitely played well, but when it came to exposing something about the defense, you have to go to third downs. I mean, the third down conversions today by Kirk Cousins and this offense were incredible. Usually in this league, you want to be 50%. Going into the last drive there, they were sitting at 8 for 12, and then 8 for 13 because they ran it there. But if you look at these third downs, it's not just one segment. And what I mean by that is the first play we just watched was 3rd and 12. Then there was a 3rd and 10. We've got a 3rd and 6 here. In this league, when you're breaking down film, usually the coaches will come in and say, okay, this is the zone coverage they run between 3 and 6. They run these coverages between 7 and 10. And maybe you get a little bit of a tell on one certain segment of third down. It didn't matter, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 3. They were ripping it all night as you're watching right here. So to me, if I'm the Niners right now, you're still a phenomenal defense. Yep. This is a bit of a blip, sure, but you go back and you need to clean up your third down pass coverage.
Kirk Cousins, let's get back to him because I just love talking about him. All throws for almost 400 yards, throws for a pair of touchdowns, hilarious post-game interview. Does he just not get enough respect for the talented player that he is?
1,000%, Jay. I cannot stand that Kirk Cousins haters out there. Again, this is supposed to be one of the best defenses in the league. He had 300 in the third quarter. It's Monday night. He's missing Justin Jefferson. Does not matter. This guy can gunsling with the best of them. Yes, there's been a lot of moments where you wish, the tush push today was a prime example. You wish maybe he would have converted that. But you can't deny this man's greatness at this league. He can sling the ball around. He can make plays. There's never been a question about that, and you saw it today. And again, I look at what he does here. This is a very, very good defense. He's missing Justin Jefferson.
Yep.
Does not matter. And then the next thing I'll say is about sports and mental fortitude. First drive of the game, it's Monday night. You can't tell me that he doesn't hear the rumblings. Oh, he's 2-10 on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
He throws a pick. Kind of forced it in there a little bit. Addison maybe could have came down with it. Does that slow him down one bit? Absolutely not, Jay. He gets right back out there, slinging the ball around, plays incredible, very, very clean football the rest of the way, and gives his young rookie, Addison, another shot, which the guy makes a play, which ends up being the play of the game. So I respect that, too, from a competitor standpoint, that he just doesn't, he just doesn't.
I'm just going to grab something here.
I thought you were pulling a prank on me.
No.
He doesn't just go and, call it a day and say it's going to be another rough one.
Doesn't fold like a cheap shirt. Vikings are in Green Bay next week. That's what I wanted to double check where they're playing next week. Niners host the Bengals. You got to believe they're going to bounce back probably.
I do, but that's another great matchup.
That is an intriguing. Speaking of great matchups, Luke, I got to get your thoughts on a matchup that Bills Mafia is absolutely losing their minds over because this sort of sets up as a must-win for these Bills, favored by 7.5.
We got to throw these spreads out because we have no idea what Bills are showing up. They're on a short week, and they need to figure it out offensively right now badly. They're not that banged up on offense. They need to score points.
And Thursday Night Football matchup, 9 numbers and lines, of course, brought to you by FanDuel. We should also mention the over-under set at 42.5. Remember, Tampa coming off that loss to Atlanta. Bills dropped that devastating game to New England on Sunday. Join us for the game, and then join us for our show. We follow every primetime NFL game. This